Hi there, my name is Erwan Rambourg. I used to be a marketing executive in the luxury industry, and I've now been a luxury analyst for a bank for the past 15 years. I've also published 2 books on the future of the luxury industry. And after having been based in Paris, London, and Hong Kong, I'm now here in New York City. The objective of this video is to share an optimistic view about the next decade of growth in the luxury sector and highlight the key topics that will influence that growth. First, there are 3 reasons to be optimistic about the next decade of growth in luxury. Ladies first, the future is female. Women are already the key decision makers for households across the planet, yet with greater financial autonomy and higher employment participation rates, the female spending power is on the cusp of becoming much greater. As women get married later and have fewer children, higher disposable income will support increased luxury spending. While economics will support female-driven consumption, societal change around gender inequality seems to have accelerated recently, and many initiatives are underway to improve the economic position of women. Women should greatly influence spending in jewelry, cosmetics, handbags, accessories, and much, much more. Second, all points east. China has become even more important for the luxury sector in terms of contribution to sales. We're by no means at the end of the journey. Asia will continue its strong support of the luxury sector, with China as the main driver of growth over the next decade. 4 main trends will be associated with this growth. First, wealth creation will continue to fuel the next generation of Chinese shoppers, with the number of potential luxury clients close to doubling over the next 5 years. Second, the bulk of growth should come from China itself, with 4 good reasons to shop at home: harmonization of prices, the rapid development of omni-channel buying, the administration's monitoring of consumer spending, and an increased education about where to purchase genuine luxury products. Short-term, COVID-19 has been an accelerator of this repatriation of growth in the mainland. Third, China's luxury market is becoming one of the most profitable after having been margin diluted for years. Lastly, adoption of luxury in other Asian markets is either reaching a ceiling, like in Japan, getting mature, like in South Korea, or too small to move the needle for now, like in India or Indonesia. Thirdly, we look at the power of youth, inclusion, and diversity. Luxury buyers start young for many reasons, but the essential one is human nature and buying your place in society. Whether in China, the US, or emerging markets, the modal age of the population is much lower than in Japan or Europe. In the West, youth demographics is increasingly diverse. The young generation of luxury buyers, including most notably people of color, around the world have transformed the luxury industry and should continue to do so, particularly in certain areas such as casualization, i.e. a more relaxed way of dressing up. This is not a fad, it's more a generational shift. Social media, widespread information, and the search for authenticity will put pressure on brands to have thoughtful, genuine messages. And values. With climate protests, sustainability issues going mainstream, and a diverse generation that cares, brands need to behave and respect the planet as well as cultural differences and sensitivities. Younger generations are clearly purpose-driven and expecting the companies they buy from to start getting woke. Looking at distribution, although we saw the rise of e-commerce post-COVID, brick and mortar is still an important part of the luxury story. While the consumer world is going online, e-commerce will have some limitations as a contributor to luxury brand sales, almost by definition. Separately, many luxury brands might aspire eventually to control their distribution as strictly as Louis Vuitton does. Brick and mortar is still the future of luxury. Of course, the stores of tomorrow will not be comparable to the ones you're experiencing today. And as long as your main target is not just to sell, you should do well as a brand by offering consumers a unique experience and a place to spend time and socialize, learn, and be entertained. As luxury moves from a recruitment to a repeat purchase business over time, there will be the potential for substitutes to arise. Let's focus on 3 substitutes and 1 key opportunity. The first substitute is health. Health is a major concern for many consumers, and they're ready to invest in order to live healthier lives. Spending on the so-called trinity of health, i.e. diet, exercise, and sleep, as well as on mindfulness products, could divert from spending on traditional luxury products, especially given the greater overlap today between brands and experiences. If anything, the COVID-19 outbreak has accelerated consumers' greater focus on health and wellness. Secondly, the premiumization of everything. Everything can be premiumized, from coffee to entertainment. The issue the traditional luxury brands will face is that the next generation of consumers will be diverting their spending away to free up spending on products and experiences that they will perceive as being edgier or more in line with their values. Thirdly, travel. Travel trends are well supported by wealth creation and will be a positive factor for luxury demand ahead. As with travel also comes bragging rights. Structural factors will enable travel to thrive, notably the lower costs, greater awareness of destinations, and increased safety of the world. As with luxury demand overall, the continued emergence of a wealthy Chinese consumer will dominate travel trends and the associated spending for the next 10 years. This consumer will change destinations depending on foreign exchange moves, political and security concerns, as well as fashion trends. One big concern, however, remains. Travel comes with high greenhouse gas emissions, and being environmentally friendly will be increasingly important to the up-and-coming luxury consumers. On this topic, it seems that sustainability will be the most disruptive trend of the next decade. Ethical transparency, production traceability, and environmental sustainability are not mere buzzwords for the young generation. Whether due to lab-grown diamonds, faux fur, or second-hand apparel, the next decade will be very disruptive. Existing luxury companies need to have alternatives in mind and possibly invest in them as a hedge for when their own businesses might be affected by these emerging categories. Recognizing the existence of a circular economy, environmental, sustainability, and governance issues will not be merely a fashionable conversation or an opportunity to greenwash. A genuine transformation of processes is needed, as the next consumer will not be gullible and they will be asking questions. A substantial amount of growth potential remains to be harvested. As a conclusion, there are many growth opportunities for the sector, and COVID-19 has accelerated some key changes in the industry. For brands who are quick enough to embrace change and willing to take risks and rethink their business models, there are great success stories ahead.